Hello and welcome back to another episode of Three Pints and a Clean Sheet. This is episode 58. Kyle, start with you this week. How are you?
Feeling festive.
I can see that.
Only 13 days till the big man comes. 12 days.
Greg's home tomorrow though.
Sorry.
Yes.
Only 1 day till the big man's home.
Greg, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to return for Christmas. It might only be 11 days or 12 days kind of till the big man comes. However, it's also 17 days to the real event in December, which is Queen's Annan.
Yeah, true. Which we will be at, but we'll also be at before then. The three of us will be at Queen of the South away to Stirling Albion, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. There's my plug for this week.
Yes, keep your eyes peeled.
We're all attending that as long as we don't get snowed off, but we'll see.
As long as it doesn't end up like the last away game we were at.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
A good day. It was a good day.
A good result last week, so we'll hope that we build on from that.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that. I don't know if we'll maybe come on to that later. Anyway, we're starting in Scotland. It is the Viaplay Cup Final this week. Is the Scottish League Cup Final.
The one no one cares about.
I care about it this year.
Aye.
It's Rangers versus Aberdeen. Greg, I'll let you start off. You seem quite animated about this one.
I was going to say, I love the fact that if you're a Rangers fan, you can already buy your photo with the trophy on Monday. If that isn't arrogance and if that isn't motivation for Aberdeen, what is?
I decided to ignore that. I've not seen it.
I never seen that.
Are you embarrassed about your club for doing that, Robert? Because that is pretty ridiculous levels of arrogance.
Very much so. I thought there's maybe some context behind it that I didn't see, so I was at work at the
I
time.
also thought that, but then I also realised it's Rangers. It's probably not. They're probably genuinely just that arrogant.
I don't know.
And
We'll
to
see.
be honest, Rangers were, in the last game at Pittodrie, they were very lucky to come away from that with anything.
Yeah, that's what scares me, to be honest. It's a bit kind of we've got to show up. Just we've got to show up and play well. Just showing up's not going to be enough.
I also feel that I've said this on numerous occasions, but the fact there's going to be more Rangers fans there than Aberdeen fans is ridiculous. But I'm fed up talking about Scottish ticket allocation policy. It's not my fault that they always pander to the big clubs.
I'm not getting into the politics of it this time.
Big clubs, more
fans.
fans.
You know you're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong.
Yes, you are.
I never said anything.
Aberdeen never even got a chance to sell half their allocation.
Pittodrie was half empty when Rangers played them last week.
Oh yes, sorry. I fancy going to a cup final. Nothing wrong with that.
I can tell by the tone of your voice you're just trying to fish here.
Think of all the Aberdeen fans who live abroad who might be home for Christmas and can go to the League Cup final. Well, they can't now because Rangers got all their tickets.
Well, too bad.
The bird gets sworn.
It'll be even funnier because there'll be more Rangers fans to watch them lose.
I'm not saying anything on that front. I don't want to jinx us.
You don't want to jinx it. So basically you're shiting yourself.
You'd always get nervous before a cup final, I would say.
I wouldn't know. I'm a Queen's fan.
I was about to say that, but I didn't want to rub it in.
You're also a Queen's fan.
Yeah, but I was thinking more Newcastle when I said it.
There was one last year. We lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Deserved to lose. Enjoyed our day out. I
think it'll be a decent game nonetheless from a neutral point of view. Like Aberdeen will be up for it, knowing that they're more than capable of taking points off Rangers. So,
is that really what you want to say there?
I said, as a neutral, as a podcast, and we're discussing, not just this isn't a Rangers podcast or a Celtic podcast.
And as a Rangers fan, what do you think?
I think we're going to win.
There you go. I've made him say it. Let's clip that, Kyle.
Well, we're coming to predictions, so I was going to say either way. There's a spoil. That's it. You've ruined my predictions for this week.
Yeah, that's episode 50 done season though.
Yeah, I guess go now.
Yeah, Rangers obviously have Thursday night. First,
yes,
are you not more worried about the game that's happened by the time you all see this podcast?
I am also worried about that one. They're beatable, but it's going to take a big effort, and I can't remember. I think it comes down to Sparta as well.
Do you have the squad to compete on both fronts?
At the minute, no. I'd like to say yes, but I don't think it's strong enough. I mean, Clements came in and did a good job. Sorry, I'm full of cold, you can hear it. He came in and did a good job, but at the same time, there's been some shakiness that I think is only going to be steadied with him bringing in the players that he wants. This is an inherited Michael Beale team.
I mean, it is. However, Clermont, I believe, also has a pretty poor record in cup finals.
Hmm.
Domestic cups in general, I think he's got a pretty poor record.
I hope you're lying.
Quite
Quite possibly, I can't say I've seen that before.
I'm pretty sure when he was in charge of Brugge, he did pretty badly in most of the Belgian cups. But I think there's only one. I don't think they have a League Cup, which we shouldn't. That's the real talking point. This game shouldn't happen because the League Cup shouldn't exist.
The Scottish Super Cup, Greg would introduce.
Yes, but to be fair, the real point is the fact that, well, one, the League Cup, Viaplay would be very excited for the Rangers Celtic Cup final that then they're not getting to show because Celtic got put out by somebody who wasn't Rangers.
Kilmarnock. We'll get on to.
Yes. However, like the League Cup, the whole point we're having the discussion about Rangers and Aberdeen are both playing in Europe on Wednesday, Thursday, and then a cup final on Sunday.
I know.
It's just it's a bit excessive.
I think so too. But I mean, Barry Robson was moaning about it. The Rangers are in the same boat, and vice versa. Rangers can moan all they like, but Aberdeen are still playing as well.
Or Aberdeen are at home as well. Rangers aren't.
Yeah. Rangers are in Betis. Or Seville.
Sorry, where? What happened the last time Rangers went there?
Went to penalties. Boo. There you go.
And then what happened?
Yeah, I know. I know.
Tell the listeners they might not know.
Who's watching this podcast that doesn't know?
Kyle.
Who's watching this podcast in general?
True. Get the likes up. we're
true.
We're not got a very good average, so rewatch it. I know some people do, and we appreciate that. But yeah, watch it again. We're going to move on.
Aberdeen beat Hearts as well at the weekend, actually, I was going to say, which is a nice wee result, but I believe Hearts have a shocking record at Pittodrie.
Didn't quite by his spotty form, as I thought.
But yeah, are they still second bottom? Yes, you did get a point for that, Robert, and predictions.
No, I didn't. I said draw. I thought I said.
Are you sure you did?
No, I got points for.
Oh no, yeah, you did say a draw. Me and Kyle
I thought I said Aberdeen and I was celebrating, and then I looked at the sheet and saw that I'd put draw. So it's kind of gutted, but we
went
moved
badly. Yes, we do move, and we do move on. Carry on.
Sorry, Aberdeen are 9th. Just want to get that in.
Oh,
aye. They were significantly lower than that, but they've kind of perked up a bit.
It's all right because they only turn up against Rangers, Kyle.
Yeah,
haven't you heard that?
I have. That's what they tell me.
I forgot I share the same opinion as every single football fan out there.
No. Not every football fan has that opinion. Only biased Rangers fans have that opinion. Like you.
Never heard that one before. Talking about getting beat by Kilmarnock. Celtic got beat by Kilmarnock again. Sorry, I'll try it again. The gap closes to 5. Rangers with a game in hand. Big Old Firm coming up on the 30th.
Yes, massive. Rangers, who has their game in hand? They'll have 2 games in hand after this weekend.
St Johnstone is one of them, and for the life of me, I think I can't remember who it was.
Whoever you're meant to play this weekend.
No, I just played them. That was last week. Yeah.
Robert's scrolling to find it out. Pass.
Someone.
St Johnstone's definitely one of them.
It shouldn't matter because, if we're going on to the theory we're about to talk about with Celtic, every Old Firm team should win every game against everyone else. That's the only way the fans will be happy, because the Celtic fans aren't happy, are they, Kyle?
Ross County, that was it.
They're not.
The 27th.
They're not happy. No, they're not.
Why not?
Because they lost Kilmarnock.
And it's unacceptable.
They lost 1 game all season. It's just terrible. It's just ludicrous.
Oh no, what a shame.
It's unfair.
And it's all the plastic pitch's fault. They can't even accept they were beaten by a better team.
To be fair, the pitch did look pretty bad.
Yeah, but it's bad for both teams.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that. I used it.
Like, it's a pretty shit excuse.
I know it is. Definitely.
Well, there are a few fans I saw on Twitter calling for his head already.
I mean, Twitter brings out the worst in everyone, though, doesn't it? Like, surely...
Sympathising with them tonight?
There's no reasonable Celtic fan who thinks that Rodgers should go.
What's Twitter? Is that X?
I have no idea. Yes. I don't think there's any reasonable Celtic fan who thinks Rodgers should go. I did see someone suggest that this is just a nice wee seat for Rodgers to keep warm before someone comes back in for him again.
They did the last time. But to be fair, no,
Neil Francis.
I can't see Neil Francis returning, but
No, I meant in terms of like until a Premier League team gives him a job.
probably.
You know, if Crystal Palace sack Hodgson, he probably should be one of the first names.
Me.
How many years did Celtic sign him on a deal for? Do we know that?
It wasn't long. I think it was like 2, maybe 3.
So yeah, but let's be honest, it doesn't matter because any Premier League club could afford Brendan Rodgers if that's who they wanted. I'm just not convinced that's who they want.
There's better solutions for English football than him.
The mold
Same
is now
old-
to gamble on some young ex-player.
It's the same old transfer. I always say transfer. Same old manager roundabout that we always talk about. Like they just go in and out, and they might spend some time off the roundabout, but they always jump back on.
Graham Potter, Alex Neil, Dean Smith, Chris Wilder.
Yeah, well, Chris Wilder's in a job now
I don't know.
and got a very impressive 1-0 victory.
Good old Christopher.
Yes. Where was I going with that sentence? Yeah, I don't think that Rodgers is the solution to any Premier League team's problem. Similarly, I don't think Rodgers is the solution for Celtic. Luckily, you don't have to be any sort of solution to win trophies as a Celtic manager. You have to beat Rangers every so often.
Win one of the cups.
Ideally,
only-
Celtic won't accept winning less than a treble now, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, traditionally, you look back, Rangers and Celtic have always went with like one has a wee kind of stint on top. I mean, obviously that doesn't count for the last however 20 years. That's going to be written off. But I mean, traditionally, you would say they kind of go backwards and forwards of who's on top for a while.
Question: whose fault is that?
Yeah, I never said it wasn't.
Big White.
Yes, there we go.
That, man.
Mike Ashley.
Right. That's another one.
Oh wait,
Aye,
are we now at the stage
you're-
where Robert gets more annoyed if he talks about Mike Ashley than me?
I'm not annoyed. Just upset.
He's going to bankrupt Rangers again. It's going to be brilliant.
Oh, I'm full of the cold. That's my issue. So yeah, anything else to add? I mean, it's going to be interesting after the Old Firm and see what the league table's looking like. In an ideal world, Rangers will win their game in hand, but we'll see. Because if they'd won the game against Aberdeen, and then they won their game in hand, would have been ahead anyway. But obviously, that's if, buts, and maybes.
Yes, I would also say that Kilmarnock are a really good team, and
Yeah.
that needs to be said. You know, Kilmarnock are one of those teams. Like they've took points off Rangers and Celtic now this season, and they've knocked Celtic out of cup.
Yeah.
Especially at home against the bigger teams, and especially just at home in general. Rugby Park is a tough place to go. Again, Reid blame the pitch in there when actually that's not true. They're just really good at home.
They were shit in the
Livingston-
first half, but they were good second. They came into it.
Livingston have the same pitch and are hardly world beaters.
No, considering they're at bottom. I did look.
Yeah.
Livingston have scored 9 goals in 15 games.
At least they're trying. Surely they go down this season.
Bring back Bartley.
Well,
I'll drive him to Livingston myself.
As long as he gives you fuel money.
No,
we'll probably try and make the players do it. Right. Well,
I'll drive him. I'll drive him there on Forza if Livingston's on Forza. Let me boot up the
Yeah.
PlayStation.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
I don't think
Okay.
so. GTA
quite-
Livingston.
Still quite Silverstone, is it?
Well, talking about teams that are doing well, a team that's went under the radar in terms of something we haven't actually talked about is Aston Villa. I think Kyle pointed out after we recorded last week, he's like, we've kind of let this one slip. Doing really well, beat Arsenal. Mr. Jonathan McGinn picking up a nice work goal.
Yeah,
2 points off first. I mean, I'm not saying by any means that they're going to win the league. That could be clipped and they could prove me wrong, but it's some start.
Who says
they're
no?
not going to win the league. Me, I say no.
They're up there. They're doing bits. So.
They're up there, but that doesn't mean they're going to win the league.
No, I'm not saying that, but they could be like what Newcastle were last year and do well.
Yeah, they'll end up in the top 4.
Top 3 maybe.
And then they can act like they've won the league like Newcastle did.
Yes. Well, it was very important for Newcastle to win the league.
I'm so happy for you.
I just want to point
they're
out.
doing well.
I want to point out as well. This is an Aston Villa team who started their season by getting battered at St James's Park. Absolutely battered.
And stop the count. Give them the title now.
But like it proves that, first day of the season, as a Villa fan, you're probably going there, you're getting battered 5-1 by Newcastle, going, shit. But they've turned that round. They've lost 2 games since then.
Against 2, I can't remember, but beat Man City, they beat Spurs, they beat Arsenal, so
They seem to have a knack against the big teams.
those
They
teams
got
do.
beat by Nottingham Forest
Stats don't lie.
and someone else.
Brighton, I want to say, but I could be wrong.
No, they beat Brighton 6-1.
That was it. I remember there was like a big score with Brighton, but
Liverpool was the other team that beat them 3-0.
Well, they're the top of their group convincingly
As you'd expect.
in the Europa Conference League.
I'm sure I've said this before, but again, if the Premier League team, with the amount of money they have, if the Premier League team who goes in the Conference League doesn't win it, then something's badly wrong.
That's my fear if tomorrow goes pear-shaped and we'll probably end up getting them first round of the knockouts if we go down to the Europa.
depends who drops down though.
But then Liverpool are in the Europa League, aren't they? So that kind of Premier League issue is not going to move for us.
Well, that's the thing. Actually, the team that has no European football is Tottenham, and they're not. They've collapsed recently.
They did beat Newcastle, but
They did, but again, Newcastle have also. No, Newcastle has collapsed, like completely expected. There was a really bad result coming. You thought it was the Everton game, and then there was a second really bad result coming. I think it proves how much Newcastle rely on Nick Pope.
yeah.
I don't know if you have stated it, but we were recording this on Wednesday night, so Newcastle are currently 1-0 up against AC Milan.
It's half time.
Is it?
But it
It
was.
says live on my screen. Oh, no, 47 must have just kicked off again.
There we go. And Newcastle, yes. So we'll see how that goes. Going out of Europe completely is probably the best scenario for Newcastle. Like, it's terrible, but when the group was drawn, it was a horrendous group. They've played well, and they're playing too many games. Like, going out of Europe is a fundamentally good thing.
I think Europa League's the worst thing for them anyway, because Thursday, Sunday's a bit rotten.
Thursday, Sunday's horrendous.
I think
And they're still in the League Cup, which
Still
doesn't
never
help
win it.
either.
They're going to win it and they can win it, and that's a good season, I guess. But
Well, the thing is that at the minute, winning the Europa League or the Champions League is probably Newcastle's only path to Champions League football next year.
never know. Might
I
work.
don't think they'll finish top 4. We've stopped talking about Villa again, and Villa are very impressive. They have a ridiculously good team that goes under the radar. The fact that Steven Gerrard did so badly with that team goes under the radar.
I was thinking about it the other day, actually.
There's different players, to be fair.
The fact is that Steven Gerrard is fundamentally a terrible manager, and that's the problem.
And now they've got good evening, Mr. Unai Emery.
There's better players, to be fair, when Gerrard was there.
Yeah, Unai Emery is, Aston Villa are going to win the Conference League because Unai Emery is there, and then they'll qualify for the Europa League, and then they'll win that. Except they won't, because they're going to qualify. I say that, I reckon they'll end up in the Europa League next year, either by winning the Conference League or by finishing like 5th or 6th. I don't think they'll end up in the top 4.
Yeah, true. They've done well, like.
The games
Speaking
will
about-
catch up on them, and they will get a ton of injuries.
Speaking about finishing 4th, Man United are 4th, but in their
No,
Champions
no.
League group. In
Oh,
their
in their
Champions League group, they
Champions
are.
Hey, I was going to say they're
Hey.
6th. That's worse.
No, let's see if you
Sorry.
click it.
Man United have scored. I've just noticed this. I have the table open. Man United have scored 18 goals in 16 games. The next team, like further down the league, like who's scored less goals than that, is Crystal Palace in 15th.
I've just seen they're -3 goal difference in 6 places.
Yep.
Awful.
Of course.
Yeah, they've scored. Even Everton have scored more goals than Man United.
But they would also be about 10th place right now, so if it wasn't for Nathan
Yeah,
Patterson.
they would. Oh, I don't know if it was Patterson or Godfrey. I think we've said this before.
Mr. Patterson.
Whoever it was.
Some man.
Whoever it was, Villa are. Go back to Man United. Sorry.
Yeah, I was kind of segueing on into the new topic of Champions League recap. Man United are bottom of their group, and that's where they're staying. Beat by
That's because
Bayern
it's
last night.
finished.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
Um,
Bayern Munchen beat them 1-0 last night. Mr. Kingsley Coman with a goal. I never seen it, but
the thing is, they've been doing really I say they've been doing really well in the league. They've been doing all right in the league. They've not been like as atrocious in the league as people think they've been. It's in Europe where all the problems have lay.
They actually get beat 3-0 by Bournemouth at the weekend, so
Oh
which should have been
shit!
5.
Yeah,
at home.
that did happen.
2 disallowed goals
That is
for
quite
Bournemouth.
funny.
For Bournemouth, I may add.
But like, are they doing it that like you're allowed one really awful result?
Had a few.
They have, but they're still sixth, and ultimately they're 6 points off fourth. It's not they're 6 points behind Man City. If you told them that, they just snapped it up.
But
I
Man
was
U
thinking about. Sorry, go for it.
Man U should be 6th place, so should they?
I mean, if you look at the squad they've got, sixth is about right.
I was speaking to a Manchester United fan last night who said that Ten Hag should have been away this morning.
They can't sack him for finishing fourth, and he's like, they surely like, what's sacking him going to achieve?
Humiliation in Europe.
But what's it going to achieve?
Get somebody better in. Don't
Like
know
who?
Zidane comes to mind. I think he's a bit too high caliber.
Yes, in the comments, who could Man United appoint? I don't think they gain anything. Like, people keep
I
making
don't know.
the
I never
comments.
thought that. That's what they said to me.
Think about Sir Alex
Sorry.
Ferguson. Sir Alex Ferguson did really badly. Sir Alex Ferguson wouldn't have had the career he had if it was in today's game, because Sir Alex Ferguson would have been sacked after a year.
Yeah, but he also had players respect. Ten Hag's
But
not like that.
It's the same situation with Pochettino at Chelsea. You look at the club and you go, the problem isn't the manager.
His tactics.
No, I think it's definitely the players and the owners at Man United. It's definitely not Ten Hag.
One of those. We have a few Man United fans who listen. Let us know what
Yes,
you
it
think.
could be worse. They could be Chelsea. I would like to offer them that comparison.
Yeah, they're not doing too well.
12th place, I think it was, or 10th. 12th.
Something
for Chelsea now.
Something I never realised actually. Kyle's popped in. Copenhagen are the first Nordic team since 2010-11 to make out the groups. That's really interesting.
Who was that in 2010-11?
I think it was Copenhagen themselves.
I was going to say, I'd have been surprised if it was anyone else. Back in them days, it might have been Rosenborg, but that was about it.
I think I read they drew with Barcelona 1-1 or something. That's when Barcelona were pretty good.
It's quite interesting stat. I didn't realise that, to be honest. That's what 13 odd years.
Again, that's what Scottish teams could be.
They've got good players in them leagues.
Yeah, but how do they get the good players when we don't?
They make them.
Again, we don't.
We just sell them off to lower teams and they just rot away in lower leagues.
I would say, having said that, the best thing that could have happened to John McGinn is that he didn't go to Celtic, he went to Aston Villa.
Yeah, that's probably made his career, that one.
Well, he's now the captain of the team that you've said are going to win the league, Robert.
Robert never said that.
Robert thought that.
I don't know why you're trying to plant this seed that I never said it. I can
Mystic,
show you it.
Mystic
I
Greg.
I can clip it. I said, I'm not saying by any means they're going to win the league, but I was saying that they're doing very well. Because anytime I say
That's
that,
what people who
that's
say
what
they're going to win the league does.
I don't care who wins the league. I don't really care about English football, but I like discussing it for our listeners.
You only care about the Rangers.
Queen of the South as well, thank you. I'm not taking any slander before you start. I put myself through that pain. I put myself through that pain, and I'll be doing it again on Saturday.
Yeah, but we're playing Edinburgh City, who can't afford to play any first team players. So I'm looking forward to Queen of the South 0, Edinburgh City 1.
It surprised
For
me.
5 minutes. Yeah, and another point we've kind of already talked about: Newcastle needing the stars to align tonight.
Yes.
Comes down to the PSG Dortmund game as well, doesn't it?
Yes. I think Newcastle need to win and PSG can't win.
So can PSG? No, we say can't win. I wasn't sure if they had to lose.
No, I think a point for PSG and Newcastle. Newcastle go through on head-to-head because they beat PSG by a margin bigger than PSG beat Newcastle.
PSG didn't beat Newcastle.
PSG don't.
PSG didn't even beat Newcastle.
They did. No, they didn't at the. Yeah, they didn't at PSG.
Draw.
Yeah, it felt like a defeat, Kyle.
I just want to add, this is it's a 14-1 Villa win the league.
Do you want to just give me the pound?
No, via fiver.
Okay.
The last time, to be fair, the last time
You put
used
a fiver
that,
on it, and just I'll have your fiver.
There was a time you said that and it came true, but I can't remember what it was, so I'm not gonna.
Yes, neither can I.
I think it was Newcastle PSG actually.
Yeah,
it
I'm
was,
pretty sure
right.
that's exactly.
You knew
what
fine
it was.
well what it was. You just didn't want to say it. Right.
Well, I might need to take that back then. If when I say that it comes true, I don't want Villa to win the league. It'll be insufferable.
Like Everton or something.
We don't want anyone to win the league.
No, it'll be compared to Leicester, and Villa winning the league's nowhere near as big a thing as Leicester winning the league.
I don't think it must be because Villa are a big team.
I think people would try and compare it to Leicester though.
And they would, but
And Leicester deserve to stand alone as the bastions of we defeated the ruins of English football. To be fair, this season feels fairly similar.
everybody else is shit.
Everyone else isn't particularly good. Liverpool look very good. Liverpool seem to just pull it out the bag when they should be getting beat.
Thinking we're top league till about 7:30 on Saturday night.
And at that point, you were a few beverages in, were you?
Yeah, I thought we were about fucking 6th.
Well then.
There we go.
I'm sorry, when you were saying Leicester, all I could think was GTA. I don't know why. I felt like a bit childish. That's a bit out of your topic range. Anyway, right, let's move on.
It's because you don't care about English football.
Oh yes. And now I might have to write that I publicly hate it now, or apparently I've already said that, or I don't know. Aston Villa going to win the league. I hate English football. Yeah.
There we go. I can clip that one. I can clip that one.
Listen, I've got more ammunition than you, so don't. Right. Aye. Let's move on. It's game time.
Yes, it's game time this week. After my capitulation again in the categories game to Kyle last week, he's got me in his back pocket. It's my turn to make the game. The transfer game returns, as you'll be aware. Again, the last time I did this, I did it South American. I like to have a wee theme. So this time, the theme is that every time the buying club has been in the Premier League. Robert doesn't like English football. This is going to go well.
I never said that. Well, I mean, I did as a joke, and now it's getting clipped. So
yes, you did. Every time the buying club's in the Premier League, usual format: 5 points for 1 clue, 4 points for 2 clues, so on and so on. Minimum of 1 point, most points after 5 wins. We have a tiebreak if we need it as well. So we will start off straight away with 2021 £50 million.
We get a guess every go, aye.
You get a guess every go. 2021 £50 million.
John McGinn.
No.
Harry Maguire.
No. 2021 £50 million for a defender.
John Stones.
No.
That's not him, Messi.
You went for a lot of money. 2021, that was like COVID era, was it not? Who would have moved during that time?
No, because
Can I change my guess?
No.
Just not even guess it the next time. I can't think.
Move on.
50 million?
Yep.
I was going to say Tamori, but I didn't think he was that good that bad.
No. 2021 £50 million for a defender from England.
I was forgetting the buying teams in the Premier League because he went to Asia.
Yeah.
Ignore that one. That was a bit embarrassing. The 2021 for a defender, 50 million English.
Let's just say a wee cheeky. I can't think. Rob Oldham.
Nope. Robert.
I can't think. Maguire was a really good guess for me. Who else?
Oh, you dick! I've got it.
I'm just going to say at this point. I can't think.
2021, £50 million for a defender from England who left Brighton.
Lewis
Ben,
Dunk?
Ben
No,
White.
Lewis Dunk still plays for them. Oh, that was stupid.
Yeah, Ben White, Kyle, correct.
Lewis
It
Dunk
is
still
Ben
fucking
White.
plays for them. I was getting confused between him and Ben White.
2 points for Ben White. You weren't confused at the fact he was on loan. He did indeed leave Brighton.
First it was Ake, then it was Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, no, it's well, Wan-Bissaka wouldn't be classed as English anymore because he's played for DR Congo
I suppose, yeah, I forgot about
now. So 2 points to Kyle for getting Ben
Yeah.
White. The next
that.
one,
Time though, so
2019, £15 million.
15 or 50?
15.
2019, 15 million.
Timothy Castagna.
No. Nice to his name though.
15 million in 2019.
Is he Michael Burke next?
Nah, keep going. I'm not
I
sure.
prefer Ollie Burke. 2019, £50 million for a midfielder.
Ross Barkley.
No.
John McGinn.
No. 2019, £50 million for a midfielder from Brazil.
Joe Linton.
No.
Fernandinho.
No.
Oh.
2019, £50 million for a midfielder from Brazil who left Manchester City.
Douglas Luiz.
Douglas Luiz.
Not quick enough, I'm afraid.
Another 2 points for Kyle, takes him to 4. 2015, £24 million.
Say that again, sorry. I was zoned out.
2015, £24 million.
2015.
David Luiz.
No.
How much did you say it was again? Sorry, I keep forgetting.
No, I've said it twice now. You can have a guess.
N'Golo Kante.
No. 2015, £24 million for a midfielder.
Oscar.
No.
I watch out Lawrence Shankland and get my 5 points again, but it's not going to happen this time.
I don't know. Robert Huth.
No. 2015, yeah, £24 million for a midfielder from France. Kyle's sitting here like, I said
Maybe.
N'Golo Kante and you said no.
I just keep saying it to wind you up.
Sorry, Robert.
Johan Cabaye.
No.
Ben Arfa.
No. 2015, £24 million, a midfielder from France left Southampton.
Schneiderlin.
It is Morgan Schneiderlin. 2 more points for Kyle.
It's like you said Ben Schneiderlin there.
I don't, to be fair, I don't even have Morgan Schneiderlin on my bit of paper. I say my bit of paper, my document, because the column in my Word document can't fit Morgan and Schneiderlin in the right same box. It's got too long a name.
Morgan was... That's it. Right, well done again.
Yes.
I forgot he existed.
Number 4, 2012, £10 million.
Samir Nasri.
No.
Bakary Sagna.
No. 2012, £10 million for an attacker.
2010.
Stuart Durnan.
No.
An attacker, you say?
I do.
2010, you say?
12, sorry. 10 million.
12, sorry. For an attacker, you
2012,
say?
10 million.
I'm not
I
sure.
do.
Let's keep going.
2012, £10 million, I say. An attacker, I say. From Germany, I say.
Podolski.
It is Lukas Podolski. 3 points, Kyle.
Good
Kyle
guess.
is the winner.
Let's play the last one for good luck.
Let's do the last one for fun. Just shout it if you know it. If not, say don't know, we'll move on very quickly.
For the
2018, £18 million.
David Luiz.
No.
I don't know.
2018, £18 million for a winger.
18 or 80?
18, 1-8.
Ashley Young.
No.
Marco Brayton.
2018, £18 million for a winger from Spain.
Juan Mata.
No, Ferran Torres.
Neither. 2018, £18 million for a winger from Spain left Middlesbrough.
Adama Traore.
Adama Traore, correct.
I've had an absolute nightmare of the night.
Well done, Kyle. Clean sweep, 11-0. And we'll move on to predictions, which is, as usual, less good news for Kyle.
Brilliant. Keep the games coming.
His gap at the bottom closes. It opens further, because Robert and I got 3 points at the weekend and Kyle got 2. Takes the total scores to 46 for me, 43 for Robert, and Kyle languishing behind on 40. Those points, we all got points for saying that Ajax would beat Sparta Rotterdam and that Besiktas would beat Fenerbahce. Robert got a point for saying that Steny would beat Dumbarton, and I got a point for saying that Stirling would beat Edinburgh. This week, Robert's done for the games. First one, Celtic v Hearts. Celtic lost at Killie, as we've mentioned. Hearts lost at Pittodrie, as we've mentioned. They've lost 2 in a row.
I'm going to say the
Celtic.
Hoops.
Well, I picked Celtic actually because they don't really get much airtime in the predictions. And I was going to say a draw, but see, thinking about it, I can't see them losing it. So I'm going.
Yeah, the reason they don't get much airtime in the predictions is because we'd all just pick Celtic every time.
Jesus, what is this agenda this evening?
It's not an agenda. You know my agenda in the predictions is that I want points.
I'll
Championship.
pick Celtic as well. Yeah, I don't know if I said that.
Yeah. Championship Championship Dunfermline versus Partick. Dunfermline are now in 4th and have had 2 wins in a row. Partick are 4 points ahead of them, but have played 1 more game. Their loss against Wraith was their first in the league in 5 games.
I'm going for Partick Thistle boing boing.
I'm going for a draw.
I'm trying to say Dunfermline for variety.
Before we move on, I saw the Partick reserves got beat 10-0 earlier. I can't remember who it was by. I'm just trying to find it.
You find that
to me then.
we'll talk to Scottish League One. Hamilton versus Falkirk, the top 2 face off. They're on the same points, but Accies have played a game more than Falkirk, who are still unbeaten. Accies have scored more and conceded less than Falkirk.
It's got Accies all over it.
I think it's going to be a draw. And speaking of Accies, it was Accies who beat them 10-0, the reserves, I believe. 10-0.
So Kyle's going for Falkirk.
Shut up. Is it Accies?
You said Accies. Robert said a draw.
Yeah, I think.
In that case, I'll go for Falkirk. League 2, Elgin versus Spartans. Elgin have won 2 of their last 5 and got beaten in Edinburgh by Spartans earlier this year. Spartans have pulled away from the pack and now sit in 4th.
Yeah, I would have started off with the Gladiators.
Yeah, I'm going Spartans.
I'm going Spartans also.
I was excited.
Serie B, because why not? Modena versus Cittadella, 7 versus 6th. Modena have collected 7 points out of the 15 possible. Cittadella have claimed all 15.
I'm going Cittadella.
I'm going a draw.
Excuse me, sorry. I would just go Modena.
Moderna? You getting your vaccine again, Kyle?
And what?
Lovely. Last one, League Cup Final, Rangers versus Aberdeen. We've covered this in depth already. I've filled Roberts in already. I'm also picking Rangers.
That's a draw.
Kyle thinks it's going to extra time. Yeah, Robert, after all of that, I'm still picking Rangers. Because again, I want points.
Yeah, we're on fucking bottom.
But you're picking them based on who. It's like, I've picked too many home teams. I'm going to go an away team. It's like the multiple choice. I've picked A too many times. I'm going to go C.
Oh, it's really bad because I have to sit and look at it and I can see all the ones. That's the end for the predictions this week.
I thought I'd just spice it up a bit. I think I was looking for leagues that we haven't included in the predictions as the wild cards, and I think Serie B was one of them.
I mean, yeah, there's a reason I've not included Serie B.
Well, I don't even have photos on the Sky Sports, so I was looking.
Yep, that's when you know it's bad.
Yeah, it's time for the FPL update.
Well, hey!
Something he doesn't like. Do you want to take it away, Kyle?
Excuse me, I can do. So I think there's a new leader. I don't actually write mine for last week. But
no, I believe he was in the hot spot last week as well.
Oh,
I think he was, yeah.
Mr. Darren Whitfield. So.
Well done,
I
Darren.
confirm that he was second last week. It was Kyle Pagan who was top last week.
Oh, sorry, Kyle. Well, speaking of, I'll let you keep going. I don't want to spoil it. They can't see the list.
Number 2 is man like Greg. Minus 50 points for that.
And he'd still be ahead of me.
Number 3 is Jock Hughes.
Oh, for God's sake. Sorry.
Well done.
No one's informed me that Newcastle have conceded.
That was a reason for that. And then I take 6th place. So my namesake is bottled it, some would say.
Some would say bottled it. It was a really difficult week. No Haaland. It really depended who your vice captain was, and Mohamed Salah pulled it out the bag for me.
I have the same.
I'm so happy for you.
Then away doing 17th is Robert. So
He's moved down a place.
No, I've not.
17th for
I
a
was
while.
17th last week.
Oh, he's been
And the
17th for a
week-
while.
and the
So
week
still
before that.
second bottom.
Yeah,
How many points is he off the bottom?
It's about 25 when I last checked. I could be wrong though.
And,
Still time.
no, 50.
Come on, Zangible, pull it.
Zangibal's like on my tail. I'm still a 32 away from my good friend Scott Miller. But we're
Where's
in the
he
bottom
coming?
three.
Neil
we're
Pagan
the-
is in 5th now. He's fell off. I'm going to catch him at this rate.
Listen, give him next week and he'll be back on. That's how
Probably.
these leagues work. I don't think I'm going to make that much of a recovery.
I'm going to forget to change my team again, like I always do.
Friday
Something laying the
night.
foundations early.
Friday
I
night's
was gonna
the
say this-
deadline.
Yes, this is the time of the year where it becomes very difficult to keep track of your FPL team because there's games here, they don't everywhere.
You get a double game week coming up soon, I think, maybe. Don't know.
Oh, very nice. Anyway,
Just 'cause it's
on that note,
Christmas.
Yes, on that note,
There's
it's
no need to
Christmas
be
time,
afraid.
so yeah, that as well. But it is Christmas time, so keep an eye out. We've got some bonus content in the midst, so
yes, we do.
keep that in mind. But yeah, thank you very much for listening. This has been episode 58, as
We'll
always.
get to watch the Newcastle game.
Right, see you later. As always, like and subscribe and comment. The views have dropped a wee bit, so we'd like to get them back up. Thank God he's gone.
He fucking stinks.
Yeah, so thank you from both of us for joining us. Right, see you later. Bye.
Godspeed.
Bye, Greg.